Hi, this is Tamika LaShawn Aaron with the creator of Life Creation Coaching International and also the creator of Living Anxiety Free Forever Project. I am so excited to be sharing with you today. Actually couldn't barely wait to come and share some of the information that I have today on stopping worry. So I'm really excited. I want to thank you so much for stopping by and listening to my, what I have to share based upon the experiences that I've had with releasing anxiety and panic attack more easily and effortlessly than I ever thought imagined. Now listen to one of my prior tape so you can hear a little bit about my story and how I was able to overcome a lifetime of anxiety and several years of panic where I had to stop driving. I wasn't able to drive on the freeways and different things like that, but how I've been able to release that and cure myself, heal myself, allow healing into my life in about a year's time. So I'm excited and I want to share something that's hot off the presses today. And I'm very excited. So we're talking about releasing worry. Now, there's a lot of steps that or practices or tools that I've been using. I've shared some on some other videos. Also, if you want to know some of the other steps that I've been using, go to my website and just click on the link at the bottom and get my free 7-part mini series on releasing anxiety today. And then you will get to hear a few more. So this is really hot off the presses because today I've been I've been noticing one thing is about really being aware what's going on in your body, what's going on in your mind, and other places I talk about some tools to raise your awareness and what you're noticing. I really began to become aware that I was increasing my thoughts and negative thoughts when it came to I'm in a custody thing with my daughter's father and different things like that. My daughter's 10 years old and I'm in this custody thing and high anxiety. I called my daughter several times today, also text messaged the dad, and he has not gotten back in touch with me. Now, how many of us mothers, and even fathers too, that's like the worry. That's like the big worry. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Where's my daughter? Where's my kid? What's happening here? Because the custody thing, and I shared some, there are some blogs that I have about that on how I've been able to manage and really, create some amazing experiences as I went through the process of doing custody stuff and empowering myself, feeling my power and having my voice. In some other videos, and I probably also blog about that, so if you go to my website then you can read about some of those things. But so what happened even earlier today is I began to notice that I began to have some worrisome or some negative thoughts about, oh my God, what's going on with my daughter? The daughter's father isn't, getting back to me. Granted, everything isn't as peachy cream as he would like it to be. I mean, it's really funny because I'm fine. For the most part, I'm taking things with stride. I'm doing my processes. I'm taking my steps so that I can keep any anxiety at bay, panic attacks, no more of those. So I want to kind of walk you a little bit through the steps, what you can do if you begin to notice that you're starting to worry. So go ahead and let's all take a deep breath right here. And just begin to feel yourself grounded and stable, kind of centered. Whatever that feels like for you. I teach some centering and some grounding techniques, but whatever that feels like for you right now, I want you to go ahead and do that. And so I'm just going to walk you through these steps. I'm going to share these steps on what I did to begin to release some of the worry. So immediately, because I've been doing these practices a lot, it comes with time. I've been meditating for over 15 years. So, and this form of meditation, at least for the last couple of years. So I really increased my awareness. And so I began to become aware of some thoughts that were kind of going on in my mind each and every time I was making calls and my daughter wasn't returning my calls. And I also began to feel that in my body. So I had some feelings in my lower abdomen area. I had some, my mind began to get clogged up with thoughts. Too many thoughts in the mind, too many racing thoughts. We really want to kind of keep our mind space, our mind clear. And that'll probably be another video. Look for that one. But for today, what I did was I noticed the thought in my head, and I said, my mind is starting to well, I'll do it now because I'm talking about it. It was a part of what was happening today. So I noticed all of these thoughts began to come. So I immediately put my focus on in my head. So in my mind, or center of my head, or just kind of in my head. I don't know. And I began to invite. Well, first what I did was just notice what was happening there. And part of this process of releasing anxiety is really just being okay with where you are. No one's perfect. No one. There is no such thing as perfection. It's not real. So I don't want this video to be so long. So let me try to keep focused. So I began to notice what was going. I began to just put my attention on my mind, or in the area that I felt the pressure of these thoughts and the images of these thoughts, and I just was breathing and just being there, like just noticing. And I'm doing it now. I'm just noticing the thoughts that's in my head, and I just became very present to them, and I began to acknowledge them. I began to say, I acknowledge you. Um, and this was a process. So, when the thoughts or the feelings or the emotions or the bodily sensations happen, this is when you do it, as they're happening, if you can. So I just began to make a connection with the thoughts and the bodily sensation, the pressure that I was feeling in my head, as opposed to in the past. As a person that used to experience a whole bunch of anxiety, I would push it down. I would ignore it. I would keep calling and raise that intensity. So instead of doing that, what I do now is I just put my focus on and I just acknowledge it. And I begin to send love to it. And say, I acknowledge you, I love you, I thank you. Because believe it or not, those thoughts were giving me information. That pressure in my head that's saying, oh, somebody else's thoughts is in your mind. I have done a lot of work on clearing my mind space, to make sure that I'm the only one there. I don't want anybody else's thoughts and opinions in my mind. That's mine. And yours is yours. And so what I did was I made that connection. I just sat with it. I was letting it be okay. And I thanked it, because it was giving me some valuable information that I was starting to feel very uncomfortable. And it was time for me to pay attention to that. And then what I did was I invited light. You can invite the presence of God. You can invite the universal presence, just to fill that space. And I just sat there. I was centered. I was focused on that area in my head, or just, the area where my brain is contained inside my skull. And I just let my mind be filled with light, with spirit. Whatever it is you believe, it's okay. You can bring that life-giving, life-cleansing presence to that area, and just invite it there, and just give it permission to cleanse the area out. So what this is doing is helping you to begin to easily and effortlessly release all of these intensely intense emotions, extreme emotions that you've been having, and the thoughts that's been going on with it. And so I'm going to have to end the video because it's already been a long time. But what you can also do is, if you're ever feeling any sensations in your body, you know, don't ignore it. Just begin to put your focus on it and use this process. So that's it. Because I don't want my YouTube video to be like 50 minutes long and then you'll stop listening. So I'm going to stop there. Go to my website and opt in and get your free video series, www.lifecreationcoaching.com. Look for me, Facebook me, and like my page. I give all of these tips. I also give other tips on how, what people who are experiencing anxiety can utilize these other tools, exercise tips, eating, other holistic, practitioners, herbs, all types of things. So go to my Facebook and like it, and then sign up for my upcoming group that